one thing I kind of like to start out, a little bit of an icebreaker, I guess, kind of get things started. What's a thing about yourself or maybe about your content that your audience doesn't know about you, or that you'd like them to know, obviously?
Oh, that's pretty rough. I'm not the best at just casual talk.
It can be like maybe
Okay.
something that only your like super hardcore fans know. Just maybe something like your everyday, Riku viewer isn't aware of.
Okay, so one thing I typically do, like I know as far as like older YouTube videos, I would see like the video been done and like bloopers at the end and all that stuff. Like everything I record goes into my video,
Mhm.
regardless if I mess up a word, if I mess up at all, or if I mispronounce things, or if I do something stupid. I keep all my bloopers in the video and just like do something stupid with that. So like I don't really cut anything out that shouldn't be there. If I say, well, of course, if I say anything wrong, of course, naturally I have to, cut that part out. But like I feel like, I don't know, because I love editing in general. It's the reason why I do YouTube in the
Mhm.
first place. And it's just like, I just want to have the most fun with it. And that's how I have fun, I guess. Does that answer the question? I feel like people should already know that, because honestly, I'm just a silly person in general. Like how I am on the camera, I'm in person, there's no difference whatsoever. Um, and unless you can throw something at me, like I can't really think of anything else that I could like, that's a surprise for my my fan base or my community that they already don't know. uh
Honestly,
but
I mean, I didn't know that by watching your videos. Like, I mean, I see like where you do like the cool edits, where you maybe like misword something, the
I keep that in.
I mean, I gotta admire that because like I watch those back and I'm like, oh no, that was embarrassing, most of the time or whatever. But like I think if you do like what you do and you edit it, you do something funny, like it not only like pulls it off, but it kind of like enhances the content. You know what I mean?
Yeah, just showing how I really am. That's actually my character. I actually fumble over words. I'm not good at talking. I mispronounce every other word like every 5 seconds. Like that's just me, and I just want to show that off.
Yeah. Yeah, and I mean that works, especially if you're into editing. Because I think I'm the opposite. Like I consider myself a pretty decent editor, except I like don't really like it. So I always try to be
I
like,
don't blame you.
you
I
know,
don't blame you. Like I'm not like like I said, it's the reason why I'm doing YouTube in the first place. Like I do
Mhm.
really enjoy it. I don't really go that crazy as much as I used to because of time constraints, and I have my videos up at a certain time, and then
Yeah.
I also stream as well. Got to make time for that, and I have to have some type of life. I don't have a life, by the way, and it's just a lot of stuff that I plan out and everything. But it's like I said, it's for me the most enjoyable part, and collabing is actually really fun too. Like I'm not really the type of person to reach out to a lot of people when I should, but it like I try to break that barrier honestly because I'm really like the antisocial person. So I'm glad to be doing this. Haha.
That's good to hear because I always tell people that like whenever I ask people to be on like especially a podcast, it'd be one thing if I was just like, hey, you want to do like a dual summon or something like that, like
Yeah,
something that'll
yeah.
probably be like 10-20 minutes tops. But like I
Hmm.
feel like asking somebody to be on a podcast, and I've said it before on here, is like jury duty. It's just like
Yeah,
you get that
you get to
message and
hear
you're
for a
like,
while just
oh
talking
Christ,
casually.
I
Hmm.
but no, that makes me feel better than uh,
I do have something to say,
uh-huh.
disregarding the podcast. So this is gonna sound weird. I've been on YouTube for a while, and I've seen a lot of people come and go. It's weird seeing you with facial hair. Let's just say that.
Oh, so
It's
you watched my
weird
old
seeing you
stuff?
with facial hair. So I have seen a lot of your older videos. I'm sure, what was it, like Tenkaichi 2, or I'm sure it was Dragon Ball content, right?
Yeah, it was.
It's been a lot.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, because I remember the video where you're moving out, and I'm like, it's just funny seeing you with facial hair. Now it's like, when I saw that you had a Twitter, I think I saw it from like ZZ Toast. I was like, wait, StormPow came back? Really? I haven't heard that name in a long time, dude. And it's a lot of things I remember from a long time ago. Like, I don't have the best memory, but if it's, like I said, I've been on the platform for a long time. And if I see a certain name, enough times, it's going to stick to me. Or if I watch their content. And it's like, I haven't seen this name in a long time. That's crazy, dude.
That's
So,
awesome.
yeah. So that's actually really dope to see you back in the content creation game and whatnot.
Yeah,
So
yeah, man. I mean, dude, I made what in hindsight was like probably the worst decision ever. So like, imagine you're like just turning 18 like I was, and like, you know, I
Right.
was making pretty decent money on YouTube at the time, like nothing quite enough to like move out and like do all this stuff.
Right. Right.
But
Right.
like if I would have really grinded, or probably not even really grinded that hard, but like if I would have just kept going, it would have. But anyway, I was like, nah, I'm a go to college and like get a job and all that stuff. You know, I was like, this
Oh
YouTube
man.
stuff isn't gonna last another couple years, and then boom, here I
Right.
am. I'm like, man, being an adult kind of sucks ass, you know?
It really does. All the responsibilities, man, and just I have even less time now.
Hmm.
But yeah, I know how you feel because like even like when because I used to make videos just here and there as a hobby, like in high school and stuff, and it's like I never really thought about the business side of it, actually getting money from it and
Hmm.
whatnot. I didn't really start making some type of revenue from it until like maybe 2016 when I was doing like Dokkan Battle a long time ago, which
Hmm.
by the way I don't play anymore, of course.
Yeah.
And it's like I never really thought about. I was like, wait, I could actually make something of this because during that time I was also working, all putting up content for Dokkan Battle, and like I just never thought about it,
Hmm.
never just doing this like trying to do it full time. And I mean now here we are years later, and and just feeling a lot better about that decision. So yeah,
Yeah.
it's all about taking that risk. I'll like for me personally, I am always that risk taker, regardless of how long it takes. I just always, this is literally the only thing I've ever wanted to do.
Hmm.
Literally is like I've never really been good at doing anything else other than just making content. I've been doing it for so long. I don't know how to do anything else.
So you mentioned like that you really like doing the editing. I mean, like, is that maybe like what you originally like? I guess if you weren't doing YouTube, would you probably be doing like video editing, or what would you be doing instead?
Oh, that's actually a good question. So yes, if I wasn't actually a content creator myself, I 1000% would be editing videos for other people.
Gotcha. And did you
100%.
did you like discover that I guess that like passion for it through YouTube, or was that something you did beforehand?
It was actually through YouTube. So my YouTube account is from 2008, the same RikuXPaine one.
Uh-huh.
And that's when I started publishing content on there. And I used to watch a lot of other content creators, and I was like, you know what, this is dope. I want to make videos as exciting, as funny as these guys. So I'm going to try it out for myself, watching people like Ryan Higa and oh god, let's see, Smosh back
Oh
then,
man.
Ryan, Ray William Johnson, I think. I
Hmm.
like a lot of the older content creators and stuff, and then it's like, dude, I want to try to make content like this to entertain people. This looks fun,
Right.
just being yourself in front of a camera. Although I wasn't really the most comfortable in front of a camera, that's something naturally I had to get used to, the
Hmm.
more I did it. And well, like I said, that was during the period I was in high school. So after that, I went to college literally 1 month after high school. Worst mistake ever. So basically, the whole time I was in college, I was pursuing game production, basically making games, something I found out that I didn't want to do halfway through. So during the whole time I was like in college and everything, obviously keeping up with the work. To be fair, can you curse in podcast?
Oh yeah, yeah. Go for it. It's wide
Okay,
open.
so yeah, so like basically like throughout my time in college, I would just be still making YouTube videos and like half-assing college work as well. So it was kind of like half and half,
Hmm.
never really full attention towards one particular thing. And it's like, I don't think I want to go to school for this anymore. I want to kind of pursue and push YouTube more to see how far I can get. So I still finished college, of course.
That's good.
Years back, I still continued, and then right after I just started working jobs, and then to just have extra time outside of work to actually make more videos. And like I said, that's when the whole thing blew up for me as far as with Dokkan, and
Mhm.
like I said, I just went on from there. But yeah, like I said, I'm always a big risk taker regardless of like what situation I end up in, as long as that end result I get to that part.
Yeah. No, and I think that that's good because yeah, it's like I mean, half-assing two things. Yeah, I mean, you're just gonna end up
That was rough.
unfulfilled in both. Yeah, and drained too, instead of just going all in on at least one or the other. But
Yeah.
was there anything in particular about like the game design field that you were like, no, this isn't me, or was it just so much that you were like, man, YouTube is really great. I really prefer YouTube, or was there something negative about the game design field?
there was a lot of things definitely negative as far as like working in the group, just working with other people. They weren't meeting deadlines for a specific project, and just dealing with the issues that other people had while being in a team setting was very annoying, because we had a lot of team-based classes to work on the game, finish the game by the end of the semester. And, you know, just a lot of issues and miscommunication with that. And I felt like, you know what? You know, that's kind of an annoying thing to deal with. You know, hopefully, I'm sure it's going to be much worse in the game design field later on in life. If, you know, this is going to be a common thing, you know, working with other people. And it's like, you know, I like doing things on my own in my own way, you know, that way I know I don't have to worry about it getting done the right way or just getting done in general. And, you know, and that's also an issue with why I don't really call out much, or I just need to get out more. But like, I just always been like a solo dolo type guy, if you know what I mean. And that wouldn't really fly in that type of environment to where you have to create a game with tons of other people. And I was like, you know what? You know, I don't think I'm feeling this as much. I think I would prefer just to play them and not make them. Because knowing the ins and out, it was kind of like weird, like knowing the issues of like character models or there may be a poly counter or another level design. Like it was just a lot to just to think of and worry about when creating a game. And this is a long time ago. I don't even know if we use the same programs now. Like during that time, we were using like 3ds Max. Maya was a sculpting program, I guess, for 3D character modeling as well. No, that was ZBrush. Maya was a different 3D modeling program. We learned programming in school, which I am not good at and I don't like. Like, you know, just learning all of that. And it's like, you know, this is definitely intensive and I don't think I would enjoy this. I thought about in the future, you know, would I still enjoy doing something like this 10 years from now? And I was like, I don't think I would. So I finished school and I just pursued YouTube even harder, and then just started working jobs until I get up to a point where I didn't need to work regular jobs, you know?
So,
and here we are.
Do you do YouTube full time then now?
Yeah. YouTube full time and Twitch whenever I have free time, I guess.
Awesome. No, that's awesome. But I'm glad then, yeah, that like kind of putting it all in, you know, ended up working out. And I think that if you understand that like it is a business kind of, but like at the same time you are having fun with it, you know, I think you can tell like there's really shallow content. Somebody comes out like literally just trying to make a quick buck, but like obviously that's in the back of your head most of the time. You're like, oh, you know, I can make a little bit of money on this. But I think, you know, like it's good that you went into it just like, I'm gonna have some fun. And then you're kind of like, oh, okay, this can be like, you know, like a livable thing, you know, and all that, but still had the business smarts to, you know, and I think like going through the real world, as much as I like joke about like, oh man, I wish I just kept doing YouTube like for forever when I was in high school. Like, I think that like entering the real world, like you did, does a lot of good. It kind of helps you appreciate like what, you know, what else you could be doing, you know, and you do learn some valuable skills in college, you know?
Oh yeah, definitely. I learned a lot of valuable things, not more so within the program I study, but just like being around people, socializing, being more comfortable speaking. And, you know, because I wouldn't have gotten this far without that experience, that much needed experience. If anything, college was like the jump start for me, just being as interactive as I am now, you know?
Yeah.
So like I do give props to, you know, like I said, you know, to going to college or whatnot. Although I didn't pursue my degree, I learned what I retained there. I learned. And I still have that knowledge to this day, you know? So I give a lot to college and whatnot. And I used to do this in my streams where I, you know, because I have a lot of people that are maybe on the younger side going to college, let them know, maybe take a year off before deciding if you want to go to college and what you want to go to college for. You know, I want people to really like sit back and think about this. Like, I don't want to go too far off subject, but like, honestly, that just like having that year off would definitely give you a chance to like just learn about what you really want to do and learn if you want to actually like, you know, go to college in the first place, because it's not always necessary. Sure, it is for certain degrees, but it's not always necessary, dependent on the job, of course. Mostly I want to say is definitely through connections, you know, the people, you know, they can get you into businesses, they can get you to different things. That's why you really got to be careful on what you know, just giving yourself enough time to know what you like and want to do for a long time, you know?
Yeah.
Give yourself that time. And, you know, as far as YouTube, it is a business. So thankfully, I did start off with it as a mindset of it being a hobby. Like I said, I've been doing YouTube for so long. Like I didn't know I can actually get paid for this content. People were like, dude, you know, you can be getting paid for this. So I was like, dude, I never really thought about that. Like, you know, I was making a considerable amount of money too at the time where I you know, it just popped in my head. I was like, oh, wow, you're right. I could actually be making money off this. So, you know, I was still in the mindset, you know, oh, this is fun. You know, I love this game. You know, I love uploading it for the people to see it and whatnot. And never really thought it from a business standpoint. So that part took a lot for me to just, you know, just to grow on, because the business side is something I feel like I still lack and I still learn, which is good. It's always a learning process, always something new to learn, whether it's algorithm or just understanding the ins and out of YouTube. So, and that's, I find the beauty in that, honestly, because it's still like when I graduated out of college, I would actually sit there and think, how would I continue learning? You know, I have always thought about that. What would I learn next? How would I do this? How would I do that? You know?
Yeah.
Because I'm the type of guy that always like learning something new and just using that information and just, you know, just broaden my horizon, honestly. Like I just like learning new things, you know?
Yeah.
It's just me.
And being on YouTube is a fantastic way to do that, because it's like you gotta learn about like audio design, graphic design, video editing, like social media and like marketing and everything. I mean, you're kind of a jack of all trades if you're gonna be like a successful content creator, you know?
Yeah, right. And it's really tough out here because there's just so many people doing it now compared to like maybe 10 years ago. Like it's so many people doing it now.
Oh yeah. Yeah. I mean, and as somebody who did YouTube like a long time ago, you know, and I'm sure, you know, you know as well, it's like you could get such easy views just by being the first to do something, and being the first to do something was so much easier back then. It's like it's almost impossible now. Like you got to find any little tiny way that you can to kind of break the mold or do something, you know, but like every time like I'll be sitting there and I'll be like, oh my God, that is a banger idea. Like nobody's ever done that. This is such, and then I'll like, just to cover my bases, I'll like search it and I'm like, God dang it, somebody has done that before, you know?
Yeah.
But
it's so hard nowadays.
It really is. So with kind of all that, you know, I was taking a look at your channel to get a better idea. And like, I see that you were doing Dragon Ball stuff most of your channel, like at least off and on. Obviously, like now it's more your main thing. And I got kind of curious. I was like, because I feel like a lot of people actually have a little bit of a different story with this, but what got you into Dragon Ball specifically? Like what, maybe were you growing up or what?
Yeah, for me, Dragon Ball was something I would always watch growing up. I remember when I was a kid and like, I think the Goku versus Frieza fight was on TV and I asked my dad, like, can you change the channel? I want to watch Goku fight Frieza and stuff like that. So it was really dope growing up. I also played a lot of the games. I think the first Dragon Ball game I got as a kid was like Legacy of Goku 1, and I still have it. Okay, and like, cool. I remember playing that on Game Boy Advance and it was really fun. You know, I really enjoyed it. It was actually a thing with my family. We all watched it. You know, I remember sitting down on the couch with me and my brothers, and I don't think my parents were there. And, you know, we were watching like Vegito fight Super Buu, and it was really cool seeing him, you know, Goku fuse with Vegeta. And I was like, oh man, he's going to destroy, you know, just seeing the episode preview of, you know, them being fused and fighting Buhan. Like it was really sick.
Yeah.
It was real, like Dragon Ball was definitely a big thing for my family as a kid, and we always watched it.
Yeah, I'm sure that like the marketing nowadays for Dragon Ball is more tailored to like today's, you know, young kids. But like all I know is like the stuff that they had on like Toonami and that marketing, that was hype when I was, you know, when we were growing up. It's like,
yeah,
it would be so hard. You're just, you know, chilling in your house and, you know, maybe the TV's on in the background and you just hear one of those Toonami commercials, the music.
Oh my goodness. You know? Yes.
It's just like you have to, like, I don't care if you're like not into anime. You gotta
look. Be there.
Yeah.
It's like you had to be there during that time. It was really, oh man, it was so hype.
Yeah.
Seeing it as a kid.
Yeah. And you mentioned it a few times earlier, and I was curious about that too. So you did used to do a lot of Dokkan content, but now, you know, Legends is more your deal. Like, and I'm really interested the more that we've gotten into this now. Like, so what prompted that? Was it that you thought Legends was like a way better game, or was it just Legends like did better content wise, or what?
Okay, so I'm gonna start off with the meme. So there's this meme to where basically people ask me if I still play Dokkan to this day, although it's been like 3 or 4 years since I've actually played the game. So one time when I was still working at Amazon, I was still, I was doing Legends content and whatnot. Somebody actually came up to me at work and asked me if I still uploaded Dokkan. I'm like, wait, what? I don't think I actually gave away where I lived at all. And somebody coming up to me at my job asking me if I still uploaded Dokkan and like collab with this or that guy. I just felt surprised. Well,
Whoa. Oh, wait. So is that a real thing that happened or just?
No, that's actually a real thing. Somebody actually like, I guess, I don't know if they worked in the same place, but yeah, they approached me at work when I was still working there and asked me if I still played Dokkan. I'm like,
oh my God.
What?
Yeah, I was about to say,
so
like, was it a coworker or just like some random customer? Just like,
No, yeah, it was just a coworker, but
Okay.
in the Amazon facility, it's a lot of people, like hundreds of people, is because we're working in a plant during that time, with boxes.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
it's a ton of people that you wouldn't even see. But yeah, the reason I stopped playing Dokkan, so Dokkan was the first gacha game I've played and uploaded. And so that was like my first time experiencing playing a mobile game and throwing all this money into and this
Yeah.
and that per check. Every check I would get from work, it would just go into Dokkan. And I'm like, okay, this is kind of much,
Mhm.
So I got to a point to where it's like I basically have to spend X amount to like get a new unit in Dokkan. And if I didn't get the new unit, what content could I upload?
Yeah.
So I felt like I was forced to throw as much money as I could to get the new character to upload, or not to upload, to make content on, because otherwise, who would I showcase? What would be the video? The
Yeah.
same event with the old characters? So it's like, you know what? I don't think like I want to do that because it's RNG. You may get them in 50 stones, you may get them in 2,000 stones. I didn't want to take that risk. Okay.
Mhm.
So, and that was one of the big reasons why I stopped playing Dokkan. It's like, I felt like I was just forced to throw all that cash to get the new unit to showcase. Sure, it'd be worth it if you got them, but think about what if you didn't get them.
Yeah.
There's been plenty of times to where I didn't get the unit, didn't have a new unit to showcase. And then because the type of, when doing gacha games, it's like, I don't want to say it's like fast food content, but like if a new unit drops, you kind of have to throw them out there ASAP,
yeah.
so everyone can see, if they want to summon for them or, to get the clicks and all that stuff. Like you have to keep all that in mind. But if you don't get the new unit, what can you do?
Yeah.
So it's like when it comes to Legends, my main focus that attracted me to the game was PvP.
Mm-hmm.
So the thing is, even if you don't get the new unit, you can still fight other people in PvP. You can still fight your community. You can still do PvP matches and have something crazy happen. Like you getting fainted 5 times in a row. You're getting paralyzed 3 times. Like you can still have like crazy titles and thumbnails without like having it solely based on summoning for this and that new unit. You can just still strictly do PvP and have content that way,
Yeah, that's a really good point. And I totally relate because it's like, I've never really been a mobile game player myself until getting into Legends. I never really could get into Dokkan, but like I liked the combat system in Legends and everything and the graphics obviously. So I was like, oh, this is cool. But yeah, like dumping a certain amount of money into some banners to like hope to do it. But like ultimately, yeah, like there have been a lot of banners that I've dumped a little bit of money into and done a summoning video on, but I never pulled the unit. And I don't feel like it's necessarily like hurt my channel that bad because it's like I still upload the summoning session, so I get a handful of clicks and searches and blah, 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 summoning for blank new unit. But then I can still do, like you said, like PvP content of like my older teams. People like seeing that type of stuff still. But I don't know a lot about the Dokkan community, but I imagine, yeah, it's harder to, milk old units in that game.
Yeah, like how much can you milk a unit for it to just not be clickable at that point,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And that was like my big issue with the Dokkan. It's like why I dropped it for a while. And dude, when I dropped Dokkan, my channel went on a decline for about 7 months. It was rough. Man. It was really rough. This was like before Dragon Ball FighterZ came out, I believe. And I just pretty much held on to dear life with FighterZ up until Legends came out. But yeah, it was really rough. That really, that was really me just showing my community that if I don't enjoy the game, I'm not going to play it. If I don't enjoy it anymore, I'm going to drop it regardless. Everything is not about the money for me. I started doing YouTube in general just because out of it being a hobby. If I don't enjoy doing something, I will not do it. If I didn't enjoy Legends, I will not upload it,
Yeah, no, and that's
it's not
the best
smart business-wise, but I am a very prideful person. That's just me. I have a lot of pride. If it's something I don't enjoy, regardless of how much money it makes me, I will no longer continue to upload it. That's just how it is.
And I think it's good, not only like, you know, I think it's good for the content's sake though, because it's like I'm not gonna like name any specific names, and honestly I would have to think about it. Nobody like immediately comes to mind, but there are some people that I watch and I can definitely tell like that they enjoy the game more or less than others, you know, and you get a certain joy. Like I genuinely 100%, not just saying this because you're here, but I feel like you're one of the people that like you can kind of tell you get like a certain amount of joy from playing the game. You know, other people I feel like, you know, they're good at putting on a facade or whatever about it. You know, they're good at kind of being like, all right, guys, you know, today we're hopping back in and like faking it for 10, 20 minutes. But like, you know, and a lot of times I'm like, they're doing a good job of faking it. This content is not bad, but like you can definitely tell when somebody is actually full on enjoying it and is not having to act. And it makes it way, way better.
Yeah, I really try to make that apparent with like my community. Like I tell them, you know, if I'm uploading something the next day that's new, because you know branching out is definitely a difficult thing when you know comes to YouTube, especially now in 2021. So it's like, if like I do still enjoy Legends, I do enjoy this 3rd-year anniversary and the units and whatnot. So like I said, right now I'm definitely enjoying myself. If I wasn't, you know, I would definitely let them know in a way that it's not too harsh, but just let them know, you know, I'm not really enjoying it as much, you know, but I'm also trying to put other things on the channel as well, which is definitely a bit more rougher on the algorithm type of, you know, on the algorithm side. But, you know, I'm trying my best to expand, but still right now keeping Legends as that main focal point.
Yeah, I think that's smart. I mean, like you've got your main, like, you know, bread and butter and then some other stuff, you know, that you kind of do on the side or whatever, just to, you know, like let people know you're not a one-trick pony or whatever. You know, I think that's always good.
Oh, yeah, definitely. So like, I feel like honestly nowadays, and it might have been like an older method back in the day or whatnot, but like honestly, I feel like collabing is like the easiest way to like, you know, just get new attraction to one's channel and whatnot. And how I saw collabs back in the day is like, you know, I saw it not only as a negative connotation, but the fact that like, I don't know, like I said, I wasn't really the type to reach out to people. Like I more so stay to myself a lot of times. Not really a good thing all the time, but it was just like, I'm not really used to reaching out and asking people, you know, to collab and stuff. Like I've never been that type of guy, although it does help out the channel. You know, it does give fresh new content for your fan base and whatnot. But it's just like, a lot of times I just, you know, I just kind of be scared to reach out, I guess, you know?
Yeah.
I really do. I'm just so hesitant on a lot of things. You know, even people I've known for years and whatnot, like I barely even reach out to, and, you know, like, oh, we should do this, we should do that. You know, like, I don't know, like I've always been hesitant. I think if anything, that would be like my downfall as far as content creation, like just collaborating with other people and just bringing other types of new people to the channel. I have done so in the past, but hell, it's been 1 year. I collab maybe 5 times throughout the whole year. And it's like, you know, I want to make that big change this year and try to branch out, you know, with other creators and, you know, just get new faces on the channel and just keep everything fresh.
Yeah. I mean, believe it or not, I agree. Like, I know, like I have a lot of, like, I guess hesitancy to ask people to work with me and all that stuff, because like, you know, I've been on both ends of the shtick. Like back when I did my old channel, like I had people all the time trying to like reach out, because like at that time I had like 50K subs on my old channel, which like in 2012, 13, like that was a lot. I mean, I know, you know, nowadays it's like, you know, feel like everybody and their mom has got 50K. Like you'll just go watching some random video on YouTube, you know, like a 30-second clip, and the dude's got, you know, 200,000 subs for like no reason. But yeah, but anyway, like, so I've had people like reach out before, and like I know like what it's like. Like sometimes it feels very like sometimes it's super genuine and you're like, oh, you know, I think this guy like and me would make good content. Or it's like sometimes it's like, man, this guy has probably never even seen one of my videos, you know. It's like, so, you know, I always hate like asking, because as like currently being like a small channel, like reaching out to people like bigger, because I'm like, I know how easily this can come off as like clout chasey or whatever. So it's like,
like it's easy to see stuff like that. I feel that.
I'm like treading on light water here, you know, like trying to, you know, not like not seem that way or whatever, you know.
Yeah, it seemed that way. Yeah.
It's hard, and you know, even if your channels are like comparable size, like it still is hard to not seem like either a clout chasey or like a bother or what, you know. So it is like one of the worst things, and I think a lot of people that do gaming content are introverts, so it's like not a good combo. You know.
Yeah, it's pretty hard, you know, just reaching out in general though. So I'm getting a little better at it, to be honest. Like I've been collaborating more this year alone. I'm in a podcast, as you can see. So like I said, I've been trying my best as well to just be reaching out, you know. So it's definitely really rough for somebody with my personality type.
Yeah.
So yeah.
well, definitely. Because honestly, like watching your content, I always imagined you as like more of a like extrovert, and I think it's just because, like you said, you don't cut out the bloopers. So I was just like, oh man, this guy is like kind of all over the place, like confident, extroverted. Like I'm surprised like learning this about you now, you know.
So here's the thing. I've been talking in front of a camera for like the longest time, for like the past 10, 11 years. So it's kind of something I've grown used to, since I don't really have a lot of social interaction in person. I've just been really recording a lot, and I just got used to recording in front of a camera. And it's like, you know, it just became a habit of mine, since, like I said, I don't really have that many friends in my state. So I don't really go out, because I don't really have people to interact with. Like all of my friends, legit, I kid you not, like 99% of my friends came from YouTube and Twitch. So it's like they're all over the world, all over the spectrum, and you know, from, you know, different states and whatnot. So it's funny, I do have this energy like this, you know, like when recording videos, and you know, I can be like this in person as well. But it's like, dude, when I went to my first convention in 2019, Anime Expo, dude, I was like, I didn't sleep for like almost 24 hours. I was just so energetic to meet these people, you know, that I was spoken with over the internet. It was such a fun experience. But it's like, that's when I like go outside of my state and actually meet these people. But typically, I am like this in person. It's just that, like, I've been to myself for a long time, that it's like a switch that I flip on and off, I suppose. Like even after we finish this podcast, I'll probably just go watch somebody stream or edit my video and stuff like that. Like outside of Discord, I don't really socialize at all. So that's also a downside with me as well. So I'm very awkward in social settings 99% of the time. And I'm not sure where to go from there. I'm not really sure to go from there, to be honest.
No, that's cool.
Yeah.
I mean, what I always told people was like, you know, believe it or not, like in person, I'm kind of the same way. I'm very like introverted. The idea of going to a convention with like friends does kind of give me like some anxiety, you know?
Yeah.
But like, I mean, I think that's the cool thing about YouTube, and I feel like I'm not alone in this. You know, it's like in person, like I would definitely have a harder time meeting one individual new person and like having a conversation with them face to face than I would streaming for like 1,000 people, you know. And like, I think much more commonly people have like stage fright, you know. I think you're like quote unquote normie person would be like, oh no, I'd much rather be on a one-on-one conversation than like, how can you be introverted but then like be a streamer where you're like constantly exposed to new people who can, you know, leave. But I think it's just different, and it's almost like you can like be a whole different person online, which is kind of fun, you know?
Yeah. Like, honestly, I'm like this in person to the people that I've met through social media. But if it's someone I'm meeting outside of social media for the first time, it's going to be a little weird. Yeah. You know, since, you know, the people that I'm meeting through, you know, Twitter, Twitch, like, I already know that we have similar hobbies. You know, I met you through this game. That like, we play games, we watch anime. Like, you know, I know the vibes, you know, I know what I'm getting myself into, compared to just meeting someone like at a bar or something and just being like completely weird.
Exactly.
But, yeah. I remember my friend, I think it was late 2019. I met my friend over on Twitch. Haven't really talked to him for that long. They invited me out to Anime Expo. I'm going to keep this person a secret, of course. So they invited me out to Anime Expo, and I was like, I was a little bit hesitant. I was like, never really left my state. Should I go? I was like, you know, I can make free time for myself, since, you know, now this is after I had got rid of my Amazon job. So I was like, okay, let me let me actually think about going to this anime expo in LA. You know, it'd be my first time going to a convention and meeting people with similar hobbies. I was like, you know what, F it. What's the worst that could happen? New experience, you know?
Yeah.
So like like I said, when I flew out there for the convention, dude, it was like the best thing ever. It was just so fun seeing all these different types of people and seeing all the game companies as well, the games that they have, the booths. So, like, the interaction was just amazing. Like I said, I didn't sleep for a long time when I got there, dude. I was just that excited. I didn't even sleep on a plane. Like, I was just so excited to go. Like, you know, just it was a wonderful experience all in all. And I hope to have more like that in the near future after COVID vaccine and stuff. So yeah,
that's awesome. And that's really wholesome to hear, because like, honestly, this year may be the first time I do something like that, just because it's like, back when I was doing content in the past, it was like I was way too like young, you know, none of us were really like talking about like meeting, you know, IRL to go do stuff. And then, you know, I came back like late 2019. And then of course, you know, pandemic, every convention ever is shut down. And I'm like, damn, now that me and like all my like, you know, friends that do like YouTube and all that stuff are adults and like, you know, can take a week off or whatever to go to some convention, it's like, then there's some global pandemic, you know, damn it. But hopefully, yeah, maybe this year / next year, you know, can get all that. But I'm glad you said that it was a good experience, because I was getting nervous with like, you know, you talking about being like, you know, not super like savvy on stuff like that. You know, I was like, man, you know, but I'm glad it turned out to be a good experience for you though.
Oh yeah, after I went to like Anime Expo, I started traveling a lot more afterwards too. Like 2 months after, I went out to like Denver, and 2 months after that, I went out to like Vegas. I started just like going places, you know, with friends and whatnot. Like it was really wholesome. You know, it's never an experience I've had before, just traveling for one, and just like, you know, just hanging out with friends that I met through social media and whatnot. Like it was really cool, dude. And it was really enjoyable.
This has got me kind of curious. So if you don't mind me asking, what is your relationship as far as like, you know, talking about your YouTube stuff with people that you like know IRL, you know, like people that you didn't meet through that? I mean, do you share a lot of that, or are you kind of like more private about it?
I'm gonna keep real with you, Chief. I don't really have that many friends. So maybe only one other person I talk to that I met from high school. Literally just 1 or 2 people that come to my stream every now and then. That's it.
Or what about like your family, I guess, then maybe, or...
They don't, well, my parents are more on the older side, like mid 60s or whatnot, so they kind of have trouble wrapping around what is, you know, this YouTube and like content creation. They don't exactly understand. They probably get the general idea about maybe just me working from home and stuff like that, but not knowing exactly how it operates and how it works. So, you know, when I told them about it, it was like, and I'll just give them just a little general description and just, you know, a response. You know, I don't get too in depth with it because they'll get confused and be like, oh, okay, you know, give me that type of response. So, yeah, they especially my dad, he's definitely like the least tech savvy person I know. He still has an old flip phone. Yeah. Type of guy that just watched the Flintstones and, you know, all that other stuff. But yeah. It's not really an issue telling them about it, but it did take me a long time to tell them about it, honestly. Yeah. I remember my mom one day when I was working, I think it was around the time when I quit my second job, during the time I was actually uploading Dokkan. It's like, oh, I was like, so you're going back to work? It's like, oh no, I work from home now. So, oh, okay. So what do you do? YouTube. And I was like, I didn't know how to exactly explain it. So I just gave like a general description. I'll just work from home, you know, do my own thing. I'm my own boss, you know, the general responses and everything. You know, it wasn't until later I actually told them, but like I said, they don't like fully understand like the whole content creation thing. So they're more old school parents and whatnot. So.
I think that's pretty much exactly how it would be for me if, you know, like if I go full time with this, I would just basically, like I like do this video thing, you know, just don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Yeah, exactly. I got a job, you know, I'm working, you know, you don't have to worry about me.
It, you know?
Yeah. You know, you do your thing. It's like, do I really know fully what you guys do at work? No. So,
right. Exactly.
You know, but, so kind of circling back to like Legends and all that stuff. I know you mentioned like, you know, that pretty happy with the 3rd anniversary so far. Like, Because that happened just a smidge less than a week ago, I guess now at this point.
Yeah, it was like 4 days ago. Yeah.
Yeah, so we've had enough time to kind of like, stew on it and everything. What do you think is your favorite part about the anniversary this year? Or maybe
I'm gonna keep
like,
real with you, Chief. Probably the units.
yeah, they are hype.
As opposed to the second year anniversary. Second year anniversary is it was rough. I don't think they had that many events that came out, and Vegito Blue was just like, he was just really overpowered when he came out. I think this is before all the broken Zenkai units that we have to this day. So during the second year when Vegito Blue came out, that man was rough. Like, I didn't like using him. A lot of the content creators didn't like using him either, because we would see him as like autopilot or whatnot. Like I would just get strike cards out of nowhere. He pierces as well. And like Vegito, like the second year anime units were just like, Vegito Blue is a very game breaking unit. And it was rough just getting him not to be a top competitor. He's still a really good unit now, a year later. Compared to like now, I don't think any of these units are game breaking. That's the satisfying part about it, is that like these units can come out in 30th anniversary from my perspective anyway, and they aren't like meta changing, game breaking. Like, you can still run Zenkai Sana family and be fine. You can still run Android Saga and be one of the best teams in the game. You can still run Regen and be one of the best teams in the game. You can still run Dragon Ball Saga and be completely fine. Like, you can still run all these other teams and still have a really good chance versus the newer, anniversary units to be put on these teams. So like for Vegito Blue, the main issue with him is when he first came out, not only was the unit really broken, but the fact that he can be on so many teams, being God Key, Fusion, and Future.
Oh yeah.
Like the amount of teams he could be on, and he can be on the same team as well. You can run him on a Yo-Yo Blue with a Bardock, and then like the options that he had for team building, like you will always see Vegito Blue no matter what team, like no matter who you will fight. Vegito Blue would just be the main guy in PvP, and it was just kind of unfortunate because how overpowered he was and just everyone would run him. Now it's like with the anniversary units, you're still seeing a lot of the same old teams, sure, with the anniversary units ran on them, but like I feel like it's a little more of a diversity because those older teams can still be utilized and still can be as broken. Like it's, as they were before 3rd-year anniversary. So it's like ever since like 1st-year anniversary unit, Super Vegito came out, he was a good counter against Regen units, and Regen units were like dead for a while, blah, blah, blah. So Super Vegito was like the big guy for 1st year Annie. 2nd year was the Vegito Blue. Notice how it was always Vegito.
Yeah. And
then like 3rd year, it's like these units, I mean, they are scary, they are good, but they aren't game-changing, meta-breaking is what I get from them. I have them all, a decent amount of stars, 7 stars, 6 stars plus, blah, blah, blah. But like, they are good, but not in a way that like they are the only units you have to worry about. Like, you still got to worry about Zenkai 18. You still got to worry about Zenkai, Elof, Gohan. You still got to worry about a lot of the other Zenkais. So like, it's like you just don't have to worry about those anniversary units, and it's kind of a cool feeling just having an anniversary unit come out and not being broken for once.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's really good feeling.
Yeah. Which one would you say is your favorite, Gogeta or Zamasu?
Ooh, I think Zamasu, I think he's better, definitely, but I really enjoy Gogeta more because, well, for one, I can definitely use GT again with him and all the other support that came out, Ice, Nova, then the LF Goku leading up to this, and then a Zenkai for Super Saiyan 4 Goku and Vegeta. Like, they really did a good job with GT. Now it's actually a usable, viable team online. I do see it, All I ever wanted in PvP was just to see a diverse amount of teams being used, Yeah, because that's all I ever want instead of the same team,
Because like they're for a while and still a little bit now, but I think as like they keep building out GT, it'll get better. Like almost all you see is like God Key and Future or like Sun Fam, obviously,
Yeah, they're gonna be rough, yeah. And then androids occasionally because you still got to deal with the Zenkai 18, who's arguably the best in the game still, along with Gohan.
Yeah,
like those two units are definitely interchangeable. Some people say 18 is better than Gohan. Some people say Gohan is better than 18. I can definitely understand both sides of the story, just because Gohan gets all of his broken buffs as a last standing unit or when Goku dies, while 18 literally starts off with all the card draw speed and just starts off broken.
Yeah.
There's no last standing for Android 18. And, I can see, like I said, I can see an argument for both units being, taking that #1 spot. And, that's, they are really that good.
Yeah, this is a smidge off topic, but not really, I guess. But I was playing PvP today, and I ran into a guy whose name was something like, if you use 18, you're trash, or like using 18 equals trash.
See,
but
that goes to my point. Like,
but it gets better. He was running a like all Zenkai 7 Sun Family team, you know? The Zenkai
Just
Gohan.
as bad.
Yeah, I was like, who are you to talk? You're using, you know, the second most busted thing in the game. Like, come on, man, you know?
Gohan and the like LF Gohan, the red one, he shreds through every unit in the game of Last Standing. I
Yeah.
don't think any unit in the game can take 2 key blasts from him, and I'm not even joking.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I was like, how are you gonna say that? It'd be one thing if maybe he was rolling like a underrated team, like, you know, say like
Yeah.
Dragon Ball Saga or something like that, you know?
Yeah.
But I was like, come on, dude, you know, get it together. But I actually, he disconnected before it even started. So I technically won against him, even though I'm sure he would have absolutely obliterated my team.
I'll take that W anytime.
Yeah, I screenshotted it and everything. I was like, oh, yeah, you know.
Oh yeah, you know what went down.
Oh, yeah.
Totally me.
Oh, yeah.
While wiping off the sweat. You know.
Because I was sitting there looking at his team. I'm just like, which one of these 3 is he gonna use? Like, yeah, well, oh god, I was panicking, and then it's like, you know, connection from your opponent has been lost, and I'm like, wait, was that me or him? And
Oh
then,
yeah,
you know,
right.
Yeah, I was like, nice. I'll take it. You know,
Nice save. You know.
you know the vibes, but yeah.
Oh man.
So with the favorite part about the anniversary being the units, is there anything you wish that they did differently? Like, especially you as somebody who's been playing since like the beginning. I only started playing the game since like Majin Vegeta. I think that was right after 2nd anniversary, but yeah.
Right.
So anything that you wish they did a little differently this year with the anniversary, or?
Step up banners. I wish they went back to the format where you get that free step 7 multi.
Oh yeah.
Or at least even some of the Z power, you know, like the 30 Z power, or at least the older methods of the step up banner. That's not now.
Yeah. That
Because back in the day, I don't know if a lot of people remember when LF Goten first came out, long before Zenkai's, you know, the purple one for Sonda family. So there was this method. He was on a step up banner, his step up banner. Basically, if you summon enough on the banner, you will raise the rate of LF Goten. So he would go like from a 0.25 to an actual 0.5 if you summon enough. And he was the new featured LF. You know, I wish they would bring that method back. Maybe, I feel like it was too good, so I don't think they'll bring it back, unfortunately. But that was a good method because when he came out, he had a low rate, of course. And, and then we looked at, you know, the details of it. His rate will get raised up, you know, the more you summon, offering you an actual better chance to get him. And it's like, you know what? I actually wish I would see that nowadays, or even seeing the free multi one, at least that.
yeah.
So I wish the step up banner was definitely reverted back to the older ways of the step up banner. And because I never liked the double LF, but I don't think they're going to change it ever since the LF Broly and LF Gogeta Blue came out in December. Yeah, I don't think they're ever going to change that. So I can honestly expect that at least once a year, honestly. So
I didn't even know that they did anything like the more you summoned, the more likely it got. That's really cool. And I wish that they would do either that or like, I know some gacha games have it to where like, yeah, you can pull or you can basically buy the unit for like a large amount. Like if they made it like say 20,000 crystals, you know, like guaranteed you get like at least 1 copy of the new LF. I think a lot of people would do that. Yeah.
A pity system I would enjoy as well, you know?
Yeah.
They implement.
I think that'd be great because like I think what sucks, the main thing is like, yeah, like you said, you're dumping all this, you're not getting a free multi or anything like that. And it's like you could dump an astronomical amount of crystals and not get a single copy, which I mean is the nature of gacha games. I get it. But like when there is the alternative of like, or you could just like dump into Zenkai's, you know, I guess that's their like guaranteed system there, but
that's when it became a norm to where like a couple of months ago before anniversary to where the Zenkai units became more worthwhile than Legends Limited units because they would have this method to where they release a Legends Limited unit and then maybe 2-3 weeks after they're going to release a Zenkai of the same color on the same team that was better. And it was like, what is the point for these people to summon for a Legends Limited unit if they can just save up for a stronger Zenkai, a guaranteed Zenkai for the unit that's on the same team that does the job better, you know?
Yeah. And I get both sides because, you know, a lot of people would be like, oh, well, yeah, I don't even summon on new banners anymore. I just, dump into Zenkai's, and like I get it because
Yeah, they're a better investment, it seems to be, you know?
and the only thing is like I'm like, man, but yeah, everything that is Zenkai though was a new unit at one point, so it's like, man, I'm like, you gotta, it's such a double-edged sword. You gotta pull it, and I mean, hell, you gotta pull it a lot, like
Enough times, yeah.
I mean, like I don't have any LF. Well, the closest I have to an LF at 7 stars is Beerus. Like I said, I started playing like about a year ago, give or take, and it's like I have Beerus at like 6 stars or something like that. But I don't even use him though, Whereas my Vegito Blue is at like 3. I think I got UI Go. I mean, he's at 2. I got UI Goku at like 4. So it's like, man, I'm like, if they did release a Zenkai of any of these, like, good God, I would be so screwed. But
yeah, okay. As far as Zenkai and Legends limited units, that is definitely a bit rough because they're already hard to pull enough. So
yeah,
even for myself, the only person I don't have 7 stars is Frieza. He's barely at 6 stars. Everyone else is like maybe 9+, but because I've been playing the game for a while and summoning, of course. But like, if they start Zenkai more Legend, the only other 2 older the Legends limited units they have yet to Zenkai is the purple first one Frieza and the 1-year anniversary Super Vegeta, or the oldest Legends limited units that they have not Zenkai. So
that's true, yeah, because I think Super Saiyan 2 Gohan was the first LF, and of course he's Zenkai'd all to hell. So
and now he's still the best one and best units in the game.
Yeah. So talking about these different kinds of units, this is a little bit of a like different subtopic, I guess. What would you want for the next Ultra unit? Like one with a really dope transformation,
Vegeta.
I guess. Vegeta?
I want the Vegeta that destroyed Android 19.
Oh, okay.
Yep. I'm a big Vegeta fanboy, of course, and Vegeta family has not received support for a while. I think the last Vegeta unit they received was the yellow support Vegeta, which is a really good unit.
Yeah. He's
a really good unit, lowers key, team healer, neutralizes typing advantage with his main ability. Like, he's a real solid unit, and he has seen a lot on the same team. So I think we should get an Ultra Vegeta next, just because we haven't received a Vegeta family support in a while,
That would be
other
cool.
than maybe one of the trunks. Yeah. So like when I think of a unit coming out, I try to think of the teams that have been buffed not the least, but what was the last like type that has been buffed and whatnot? Like Future has been buffed with Anniversary. GT received support within the last 4 or 5 months. God Keys received support. Son of Family received support. Female Warriors have. And it's like, what are some of the other teams that haven't really received support, as much?
Yeah.
Vegeta family is probably the only team I can think of.
That's a good point, actually. And I don't think about it because there's so many units in the game, but you're right. It hasn't gotten any new like action in a hot minute, really.
Yeah.
Because they've done like, I know there was like, the Zenkai Trunks semi recently and all that, but that was more of a Future thing, really, than a
And I
Vegeta
see him
family.
on Hybrid Saiyans in Future. So
yeah. But I mean I freaking love Vegeta too. And like, I love my Vegeta family team. It is a little bit dated, like I've got the coat Vegeta and all that stuff that's pretty solid, but like, I don't run it as much as I used to because now it's like, my Fusion team, my Future team, my God Key, all that.
Back to Fusion, GT, and God Key,
Yeah. That's really cool though. Yeah, I wouldn't have thought of that Vegeta specifically, honestly, but that one would be really hype because like, I don't know, like whenever you think Vegeta, you're like, my mind anyway immediately goes to like Majin Vegeta, stuff like that. But that is a good moment that kind of gets slept on, Android Saga.
I try to think of moments to where like after seeing the release of Ultra Goku, that was the one fought against Frieza, became a Super Saiyan, and okay, let me try to think of some other monumental moments. If not Vegeta, then maybe an Ultra Trunks, the one that killed Mecha Frieza.
Yeah.
I try to think of like those type of moments they could use as an Ultra, but not necessarily as a Legends Limited.
Yeah. No, that'd be really dope, actually. And one more question. I think this is really the last one that I had like prepared anyway. So kind of start to wind it down, and it's a little bit I guess a different subject. So we've got E3 in what, like 2 weeks, I think now, something like that. Do you have any predictions / hopes for Dragon Ball and E3?
Actually, I have other predictions, but as far as Dragon Ball, okay, so I've played like Xenoverse 1 and 2. I haven't played those games in a long time. I don't know if like a Xenoverse 3 is gonna happen. I mean, if it were to happen, I'm definitely jumping on it. I've had a lot of issues personally with Xenoverse 2, unfortunately.
Yeah.
And it just kind of pushed me off the game. So it's like, you know what? Maybe if they brought out a 3, because they were like, Xenoverse 2 has received support for a long time. I respect that, dude. Crazy amount of support. And how long has that game been out? Like, it's crazy.
Like 5-6 years, something like that. I don't know.
Yeah, I actually think it's been a little longer than that, but like that's still like really crazy, like that they're still getting DLC packs and whatnot. So, oh, as far as Dragon Ball, I mean, Xenoverse 3 is like a meme at this point, not gonna lie.
Yeah.
I don't know if we'll see something with fighters, another variation of fighters. When I think of a game like that, because I don't know how Arc System works with their fighting games, I'm not very knowledgeable on how they structure. But as far as maybe looking at some other fighting games, they tend to just like update it, like I guess with like Street Fighter or maybe some other fighting games, or if they just come out with a whole new title. Like I'm not sure how that will work if they came out with like a Fighters 2. I'm not exactly sure how that will work, you know. It's kind of like how like, you know, Overwatch to Overwatch 2, like I don't know exactly how that type of method will work for that game, you know. I thought they were just going to continue pumping out DLC for that and, you know, tweaking some of the buffs or just some of the character mechanics, but I'm not sure exactly how that will work with fighters.
Yeah.
Yeah, as far as Dragon Ball, it's not much I can think of outside of the meme Xenoverse 3, to be honest. Maybe some other anime fighters that may show more, like Demon Slayer more.
The My Hero one got like rumored or leaked today.
Yeah, I was hearing rumors of a My Hero game being made by Arc System, and me personally, I am waiting for. Oh, this is on the tip of my tongue. I was talking about this earlier. What was it? So, one game I am waiting for personally is Metroid Prime 4. Big Metroid fan. And maybe Mega Man Battle Network port, maybe.
That'd be cool.
So yeah, that would be cool. So like as far as Dragon Ball, maybe a Xenoverse, or I mean, I don't know. I mean, we've already got the Dragon Ball RPG game with Kakarot. They did a good job with that, you know. And you know, I think we're good. I don't think we need any more RPGs for Dragon Ball in the way of Kakarot style anyway. I'm not sure. I'm actually not sure. I definitely think we definitely will be getting new games since, you know, the movie has been announced for next year, 2022, Dragon Ball Super movie.
Yeah.
So, oh man, I'm waiting for that. As far as games, I can't see anything but Xenoverse 3. Yeah.
Honestly.
That's all I got.
Any other like non-Dragon Ball predictions?
Other than Demon Slayer, maybe a Mega Man, Metroid. What else? Okay, so God of War Ragnarok has been delayed.
Oh yeah, that's right. Sucks.
So
but
yeah, I know,
good.
right? So it's like, dang it. We already have a release date for that Pokemon Arceus, because I think they changed his pronunciation.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I think that comes out January now, which is dope.
Yeah, that's
I'm a big
not
Pokemon
far
fan.
away. Yeah, me too.
What else? There's not much I can think of. Maybe we already got DLC for Monster Hunter Rise. We have the roadmap for like every month what's gonna happen. So I don't think they're gonna show anything for that. Oh, they showed that Nintendo Direct on the directs. Yeah, that's all I got. I can't really think of anything else.
Gotcha.
Honestly.
Gotcha. And this is something that just now came to my mind, and I'm low-key asking like for myself, but also I think it might make a cool discussion, you know. So what games other than like Legends, obviously, like are you playing these days, you know, like just for fun? What game might you recommend that's been,
that's
you
my
know?
favorite question right here. Oh man. Let's see. Right now I'm playing Fire Emblem Three Houses. I'm still trying to finish my first playthrough of the Black Equal House. It's really fun. I love Fire Emblem. Like I love that game. Let's see what else. I am also playing Persona 5 Strikers. That is on hold because I've yet to get back to that. I'm a huge Persona fan. I love Persona. I've been playing a lot of RPG games, if you notice.
I was about to say, yeah, JRPG dude.
Shin Megami Tensei. The remaster on the Switch. I'm actually playing that currently right now. Because I wanted to see like where Persona came from and you know what started this whole Persona franchise. So I went back to the roots, and I'm really enjoying that game. And it's vastly different than how Persona was like structured. What else? What else have I been playing? Monster Hunter Rise I've been playing as well. My Hero, The Strongest Hero, you know, the gacha game I've been playing. which is really enjoyable. Definitely needs a lot of work. The only good thing about that game I want to say is the gameplay, for the most part. Disregarding maybe some of the connections, but like I think everything else needs working, like stamina system, the rates. They do have a pity system, sure, but that's not really saving with the horrible rates that they have.
Honestly.
Yeah, like I said, it's new mobile game, so they have a lot of issues and stuff that needs to be fixed. Gameplay is probably the most enjoyable part about it. And I think that's all I've been playing. I've been trying not to have a giant backlog. Oh,
Yeah.
Little Nightmares too. Oh boy, I love horror games. I can't handle them very well, but I get overly curious to see how it ends and see how well I would do with them. Because I played like a ton of horror games like Outlast and Resident Evil. I just finished recently as well, Resident Evil 8. I love the Resident Evil series. That's one of the games that's been my family as well. My brothers played. And yeah, I think that's all the games I've been, playing recently as of late.
Gotcha. No, yeah, that's super interesting. Yeah, I mean the JRPGs, like I have a hard time getting into them because they tend to be so long. It's like
Dude,
daunting.
they are so long, man.
Is Fire Emblem Three Houses a good like first Fire Emblem game? You think?
It's my second because the first one, ironically enough, was a gacha game. Fire Emblem, what was it? It was Fire Emblem Heroes 3. Fire Emblem Heroes, I think, was the mobile game. That was my first experience playing with the Fire Emblem characters. And it's a gacha. Obviously, you got some of the characters, put money. But yeah, Three Houses is actually a really good start. It's so fun. It's a, tactical RPG game, of course. So it's like moving on the chessboard and whatnot. It's really fun. It's really enjoyable. It's honestly a game. If you play RPG games, I'll recommend it to anyone who plays RPG games, simply.
I might have to check that out because I remember there were some games that like me and my sister used to play when I was really young that were kind of like similar style. I don't for the life of me remember the name. I'm going to sound like a real big idiot if I'm wrong here, but weren't some like older Final Fantasy games structured kind of like that with like the map kind of?
Yeah, I think like Final Fantasy Tactics, I believe.
That might have been
one of the games.
Yeah,
I think it was actually structured that same way as well.
Because I like I said, I'm not a huge JRPG guy just because they tend to be long. I always love them while I play them, but then I just something comes up and I forget about it or whatever. So like, with that being said, I'm not a big Final Fantasy guy. So I was like, man, I'm gonna piss off a lot of people if I'm like way off on that. So, but yeah, no, I might have to check that out because like I've been I get in two modes. Sometimes I'm like, man, I just want a game to like shut my brain off and just like play kind of mindlessly.
Yeah, I feel that.
But then other times I'm like, no, I want a game that like I can get super, super into, it's like one or the other. But yeah, man, I think that's pretty much it. So I will let you get back to your night. But I mean, is there any other thoughts or anything that you have or you'd like to share? The floor is yours.
Oh, well, I'm definitely currently diversifying my content. I have yet to make like a streaming schedule, but I've been streaming every now and then when I get free time. And, I just try to play a lot of different variety of games, stuff I know that won't work on YouTube. I'll just try to play over on Twitch, so I don't have to worry about the algorithm. But other than that, no, I don't really have any closing thoughts and or anything like that. Or I mean, unless it's like the plugin session or something. I don't know.
Hey,
if
go for it. You got a book you wrote or something?
Yeah, okay. So I wrote this my own thesaurus, but no, RikuTheBest YT definitely over on Twitter. I try not to be on social media, honestly. Like I get depressed a lot, so it's like that doesn't help. But if you want to follow me on Twitter, definitely go follow me on there. RikuXPaine or RikuTheBest is my YouTube handle and my Twitch as well. That's really all the social media that I have, and make sure y'all stay hydrated. You too as well.
That's
I
right.
Need to stay hydrated.
I've had this big ass thing of water next to me this whole time, and I don't think I've taken a single sip. So I will take your advice on that. I'm like, this thing, you'll see it in the video when it goes live, but it's like halfway full. It's like a quarter of a gallon of water here, and it's just like, you know what? Maybe I should do that.
Right, maybe I should like stay hydrated. But yeah, that's all the closing thoughts I have on my end. Thank you for inviting me to your podcast.
Yeah, man. No, absolutely. I appreciate your time and coming on, and yeah, it's been a blast. So, yeah, man, appreciate it, and we'll see y'all next time.